What's up, guys? It's Isaac Theo, and this is my first YouTube video. You do not understand how many times I've tried to film this. I've tried so many times to film this video, and I just haven't been happy with the outcome. I've just been, honestly, on, off. Like, no, next, try again, beep, don't like that, long. But I've just got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna film it, be myself, and you either like it or you don't. Hopefully you like it. Ooh. Ooh. So I turned to Instagram probably about 3 months ago now, maybe more. I'm so long. Anyway, I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and I got so many questions, honestly, like too many to be able to fit into one video. So what I decided to do was kind of make this one more of like a trans Q&A, like an FTM Q&A. And with the other questions, you know, I might do another one at a later time. But to start off with, I've picked the answers, the questions that sort of fit this video. First one, question one. How did you choose the name Isaac? How did I choose the name Isaac? So, when I was younger, I always had different names. Like, I'd be Julian, I'd be Harry from Harry Potter. I was Harry Potter for a really long time. That was a good one. I was Tintin. I always get someone to call me by a different name. Like, my names didn't fit with me, you know? Wasn't me, I guess. It was a beautiful name, don't get me wrong. Stunning name, well done, Mum, chose well, but didn't fit me. So, for a while, yeah, I'd have all these different names, but then suddenly Isaac was just floating in my head. Like, I remember someone would say my name, my given name, my birth given name, and it would sort of just be Isaac in my head, like, Isaac. It was really weird, like, and then that kind of just drifted away after a while, and then as I came closer to realising, okay, I am definitely not a girl, I sort of started thinking about names again. And the first one I thought of was Isaac, just straight away. And I was like, and then I remembered, you know, Isaac in my head, being in my head. And just was like, yeah, you know what? That's me, Isaac. But also, my actual first name is Isaac Theo. Like, that is my first name. On my passport, my name is Isaac Theo. No middle name. And then Adu Watts. That's my full name. And Theo was just another name that I was really drawn to, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to have two first names because I'm that guy. But yeah, that's how I chose the name Isaac, or Isaac Theo. What star sign are you? So my birthday is the 21st of July, so I am a Cancer, right on the cusp. So I'm on the cusp of Cancer and Leo. Some people say I'm very much a Cancer, and other people say I'm very much a Leo. I think it depends on how well you know me. I think if you don't know me that well, I'm more of a Leo, but if you know me well, I'm a bit of a Cancer. I don't know. How old are you? I am 22, but in my head I'm still like 18. What name do you go by with family and friends? Isaac. So my friends no one calls me Theo. Someone actually called me Theo the other day, and I was like, I answered, obviously, because that is part of my name, and I was just like, oh, that's really nice. No one's ever called me that. But yeah, Isaac, obviously. Zach. My mum calls, well, not so much anymore, but I used to be called Bash. I was always called Bash. Yitzhak. My mum calls me Yitz or Yitzhak. She honestly just calls me Yitzhak. Yitz! Like, yaaas! Yeah, my mum calls me Yitzhak. Eyes. A lot of people call me Eyes. Yeah. Do you have any regrets? Sorry, if I'm like look really weird when I'm reading these questions out, it's because I can't really see very well. I don't have my glasses on. I'm actually low-key really blind. Do you have any regrets about how you handle the whole process? I don't really know what. Okay, I'm just gonna say what I think this question is. I don't have any regrets about being trans, coming out as being trans. No, at all. Like, it's been the moment I admitted to myself, and that's what people need to remember. It's, you can come out to multiple people, but the first person that you need to come out to is yourself. And that is accepting yourself and accepting who you are before you can fully be comfortable, I think. And that can take a long time. That I'm not saying that it happens overnight and you're suddenly like, yeah, I'm fine. I was, for a while, ashamed of being transgender. And that's just so weird to think back now, because I'm so proud to be trans. I'm so proud to be who I am. But it can take a while to get to that place of comfort in your mind. But I promise you will, Anyway, back to the question. I kind of went completely off track there. Do you have any regrets? No, I don't have any regrets. In my head, I was always a boy. That's it. I was just like, I'm a boy in a girl's body. That's just life. That's what it is. I'm obviously just a fucking weirdo. But turns out I was trans. How did you feel after you came out? I felt like I could breathe for the first time in my life, is the best way of describing it. Like, I felt like someone had been sitting on my chest and on my shoulders and pushing me down, slowly, I would go further down, hammering me down into the ground. And when I admitted to myself, oh shit, I've just deleted all of the fucking questions. Okay, they're back. Sorry. Yeah, so as I was saying, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in my life. And just a whole weight had been lifted off my shoulders and I was free. I wasn't hiding from anything or anyone, not from myself. Most importantly, I wasn't trying to be someone else, because I was comfortable with who I was. And as I said, it took a while, but the initial moment of admitting this is who I am was feeling free and feeling like I could breathe for the first time. And it's the best feeling in the world. Like, just like I could floating. What was the response like? So, when I first came out, everyone I told was either like, that makes a lot of sense. That makes so much sense. Or they were like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Like, luckily I got a very positive response. And I know, once again, that is not always the case. And some people will come out to the people and they won't accept that. But luckily I have been surrounded by people who have accepted me and been nothing but supportive and loving throughout my transition. And I don't know what I would do if I wasn't in this position. It's hard to it's hard for me to sit here and say, I know how you feel, how it feels to not be accepted, because I don't. I don't know what it feels like to not be accepted, but I know, once again, that there are people out there who don't have that love and don't have that support. So sometimes it might take people a little while to come to terms with it or to understand it, but to downright not have the support system, I can't begin to imagine what that's like. And all I can say is, I support you. I may never speak to someone who's going through that, but knowing that there are people out there who do accept you for who you are and, will love you for who you are is comfort, I think. I accept you for who you are, whoever may be watching this, and you might find a little bit of comfort in that. Yeah. So, really. Done it again. I've deleted them again. Okay, we're back. How did you work up the courage to come out? So, I remember being on holiday in Thailand with one of my closest friends, actually. And I can't really remember how the conversation was going, but I was about to tell her how I feel. I was like, yeah, I feel like a boy in a girl's body. And we kind of had a little conversation about it, but I never really went anywhere. Initially, what happened was me and my ex, I guess. Yeah, I guess my ex. Yeah, me and my ex, let's just say that for argument's sake. So the four of us were at dinner. My mum, my dad, my ex, and myself, and I had basically thrown away a bunch of my feminine, I say that very loosely, clothing. And that's because I went through a stage where I was suddenly presented as very girly. I was wearing dresses. Okay, I'm not first of all, before anyone's like, oh, girls and boys can wear, I know that. I know that guys can wear skirts, or however you identify it. It's not, that item of clothing isn't binary. But for me, at that time, that was how I identified as a girl, or tried to push my identity as feminine as possible, was by wearing skirts, dresses, tight tops, that showed my chest. Vile when I think about it. Not on other people, but for myself, because that's just not who I was. I was just terrified of being seen as anything other than very feminine for a while. Anyway, so I went to uni and I was like, okay, I'm going to wear exactly what I want. I'm going to be who I want and stop wearing all this nonsense. But anyway, basically, I threw away all of the stuff that sort of linked me to that stage in my life. And my mum basically said, I'm so sorry that you had to hide yourself in that way, or you felt like you had to be a certain way that wasn't who you are. And the reason she's saying that, this is before she knew that I was trans, is because I came out as gay to my mum and dad for a while, as a lesbian. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said lesbian. I did come out as a lesbian to my mum and dad for a while, but I never really identified with that term. So I said, I'd say I was gay. And she was just like, she thought that me being really as I was, really feminine, and really was just me hiding my being gay. So she was like, I'm sorry that you had to feel like you were being something that you weren't. And I was like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So me and my ex went upstairs into my room and we were talking. We sat in my bed. We were talking and she was like, yeah, you don't, when people talk about you, they're not, I can't really remember the exact words that she said, but it was something along the lines of, you don't you don't seem like a lesbian, like a typical lesbian. And I was like, yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't, in my head, I am a straight man trapped in a lesbian woman's body. And she was like, have you always felt like that? Like, have you always felt like a boy? And I was like, yeah, since I can remember in my head, I've felt like a boy. And she was like, right, so that's being called transgender. And I remember just sitting up on my bed and just being like, I sat there for a while and I could just see my whole life just like falling into place, kind of. Like, I realised that how I'm feeling is valid, it's a real thing. Like, I'm not just crazy. Like, I feel something that other people are feeling. And yeah, that was an incredible feeling. Sorry, I think I might have gone off topic yet again, but oh, how did I work up? I guess that was how I worked up the courage to come out. But yeah, she helped me realise that I was transgender, and big up to that. That was very, very helpful. Is it how you imagine to be? I guess that question is like, has the outcome of my transition been what I thought it was going to be? Yeah. Like, it's kind of weird because every night I would dream. I can lucid dream, so I do that pretty much every night. So I would put together the man that I would hopefully be, and physically. And it's really weird because that is actually pretty close to what I see when I look at myself in the mirror now. It took a while to get there. It took a while to get to that point, but I see someone staring back at me and I'm not like, whoa, I'm not like, sorry, I'm not really making much sense of this. Basically, I would look in the mirror and I would sort of be shocked at my reflection because in my head, I had such a strong image of who I was that my reflection would take me by surprise and I'd be like, whoa. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but now I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, yes, I can actually see the person staring back at me is me, and it just feels great. Was any part of your journey painful? Mentally painful, my dysphoria. That is a pain that is very hard to put into words unless you know how it feels to be dysphoric in yourself. I battled with depression for a long time. I went through a very, very bad year last year. Yeah, I was in an awful place. So yeah, I guess the biggest pain mentally was depression and my dysphoria, which was sort of a trigger, kind of anxiety. It was all pain. Have you always felt male, or did something suddenly kick inside you and felt like you needed to transition? So the oldest memory was being in a paddling pool at my granny's house years and years and years ago. And me and my brother were both naked, and I must have been about like 4 or maybe 3. I think I might have been 3. And I looked at him and I looked at myself, and I was like, whoa. Like, I remember thinking, hang on, why does he have that between his legs and I have that? And then I thought, oh, okay, he's older than me, so he's a bit older than me, so it must be as you grow older, your willy grows with you. Have you always felt male, or did something suddenly kick inside you and you felt the need to transition? So yeah, as I've been saying throughout, for as long as I can remember in my head, I've always been a boy. But as soon as I figured out that I was trans, it all kind of like kicked in, and I was like, okay, I need to do something about it. When I fully accepted who I was, I guess. What has been the most impactful / important change in your life since coming out / beginning your transition? My happiness has been the biggest cause, I reckon, and my confidence. People say like I've always been confident, but in a way that was like almost forced. So I was like acting like I wasn't actually confident, but now I'm just like at peace with myself, so I'm like confident with who I am. Yeah, my happiness, my confidence, being at peace with myself, looking at my reflection and being like, yes, you are there. I see you, my G. And definitely another physical thing would be my voice. I annoyingly didn't do like voice updates, but I've got some videos before of my voice, and it's like unrecognizable. It was so high pitched. Like I don't have a very deep voice, but my voice before was just like, whoa, you wouldn't believe it. I'll try and find something. What do you love most about the new you? Is there anything at this point you would change or take back? Any regrets or expectations? No, I would never change anything. I would never go back. And I love the person that I am becoming every day, more and more. Obviously, I've got a lot, we've got a lot of growing to do. I'm still young, but from everything like since my transition, I am so happy with who I am so far. I wouldn't change anything. What made you decide to be open about your transition? Is it an easy choice? That's a really good question, actually. I think the key reason for sharing my transition was knowing what it felt to be alone and not wanting anyone to feel like that, or feel like they don't have anyone to speak to, or being in the dark about how they feel about who they are and not having answers. And yeah, like I know there's stuff written out there about me, like negative shit, but I don't give a flying, like I don't give a rat's fucking bollock what people think in that respect, in a bad way. Like, say what you want, but I'm happy. Like, I'm happy and I'm enjoying my life. And if I can take away someone's pain by just posting a selfie, then I will. Even if that picture has negative shit thrown at it, go away. Like, say what you want. Like, hopefully I'm making someone else's life a little bit easier by sharing my experiences. And yeah, that's why I'm so open about my transition and public about it, I guess. Have your family been supportive along the way? Yes, my family have been absolutely incredible. Like, as I said before, I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky. Like, I have had the support that I've had. Even my granny, who's 84 years old and is from a completely different generation, has been nothing but supportive and never slips up on my pronouns or my name, or even from the beginning, she'd occasionally do that, but like so would my mom, so would my dad. Like that's just natural. That's something you need to get people are getting used to a different name and a different pronoun, and for her to carry on trying despite how hard it was for her. Like she's spent 22 years knowing me as a different gender and a different name, and she's old, yeah. So she's been amazing. My mum is my rock. She's my life, and she has been nothing but supportive. My dad has been nothing but supportive. My brothers, my sisters, like everyone's shown me support. Yeah, my family's been great. What is your blog going to be about? I don't really know. Haven't really thought that. I haven't really thought that out. I guess it's going to be quite trans. There's going to be a lot of trans stuff on here, I'm sure. I'm going to use it as a platform to educate people and help people who need someone to talk to, or just maybe need advice, or yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's my video. That was supposed to be done many months ago, but I hope you enjoy what you see. You know, like and subscribe if you want. Guess that's what people say. But yeah, okay. Cool. Hope you're all good. See you later.